So I am getting ready to mount the dash speakers, and I'm gonna flip you around and show you what I found here. Of course, I knew that this was all broke, but crack here. So this, where this speaker mounts, is just going to be flopping. You can see where it's broke. That mount for the upper dash pad's broke. This piece right here just fell off. So I don't want to start a can of worms here, but at the same time, I do need to get, and I do need to plastic weld this up. So I think I'm going to attempt to plastic weld that up real quick. It's going to take time out of me trying to get this done, and that sucks because I really just need to run speaker wires to the front, bolt the speakers down, and wire up my weather pack connectors. And I know that might be overkill, but you know, the wiring in the radio wiring and speaker wiring is a hack. So anyhow, yeah, and it's getting late here, and I am slowly losing my motivation. The good news is I got my boy Funky back there on the old YouTube's playing, so that's a little bit of extra motivation. So anyhow, I'm going to try to at least get these front speakers mounted and wired up tonight. That's going to be my goal. And once I get that done, then we'll go from there and figure out the rest of it. But anyhow, yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing. When you're doing dash speakers and working in really tight areas, we show you a really cool tool set to get. It's right here. It is, it's a Chapman set, what they call it, and terrible camera angle. Yeah. Guys, highly recommend these. These right here, this little ratchet set, is unbelievably awesome. High quality. These are made in the USA. So yeah, that's kind of like a free plug for them. But man, I've used that when I was a field service engineer, and I was having to work in tight spots on these conveyors that we'd set up and work on and fix. And that dude right there is a game changer. I'll tell you right now. I've had my hands in places that you could barely fit your fingers, having to take screws out of, and that tool is awesome. Anyhow, we get back to boys and girls. You can't see me, but I can see you. This is going to be, you're looking through the windshield right here. So I got this little paper clip kind of holding that together, so it's kind of flush right here. And there's really no way to, yeah, I think I might be able just to fuse that together without actually putting any filler in it. Let's see what happens here. Why is this short to go to a distributor in the back of the engine instead of front of the engine? This is not a Chevrolet. That would be the one thing right now so far that I would mark aces down for as far as wiring harnesses. If you can see, I'm melting from the outside and working it in to the crack. Okay, and I'm doing that so I can use that material to now there. Alright guys, here we go. Here's where you hook up to the ECU. That's where the power goes. So I was gonna see if I can unwrap. So that's holding there, but you can see it's still flexing here. So I'm gonna do the same thing there. What would be really cool is to have one of those little guns that has the little swirly things. My buddy Eddie Olinger, he actually repaired a dash using those, and it would work a lot better than this because you're actually putting a piece of metal in there. All right, here we go. I'm just going to start right here.
I'll go check at the distributor downstairs just to see how long that cord is, but I think it's probably about the same length as that right there. But then you got the coil, which is easily fixed. I could just snip it and
Actually, do it this side.
I just bought this. You go cutting holes and stuff, and I mean, adding wire is one thing, but chopping it off to add wire is another. You know, how about we get it started? How about we do that? This is going to be a problem. The problem with this, the reason why I can't really move these is because, look, here's this for the distributor, here's this for the coil. They're going down where? To the start of this damn thing. So all the wires are coming up. You got to add to it. There's no, like, stripping it down and making it longer.
Guys, I find it funny that this dash is actually a gray plastic that's been painted. It's the factory dash in the car, so I have no doubt that it's original. But ooh, wow, it's a lot. That's a lot stiffer. And if you are curious, that is what she said. Oh wow, check that out. All right, let me get that right there. If you're wondering what I'm using a Welding soldering iron. Welding is one of the better quality soldering irons you can go with.
I'm gonna have to put some braided loom over it. I think I got some. I could probably take that whole little bit there. And guys, I want to talk to you about ignition wires in a Foxbody.
All right.
In the engine particularly. Does any of you know where there's an ignition wire?
Wow.
When you need it in this engine bay?
All right.
There's several.
So now the question is do I put this piece back in here?
There's one stinking ignition wire in this whole engine bay. And I bet you can't guess what's at. Because it's just so, it's kind of stupid and obvious, but at the same time, you're like, really? But it's right here. I believe it's this red wire here on the freaking harness for the windshield washer motor. So I've had to tap that wire in every one of the cars I've done. And that's what one of these wires are, is ignition wire. So a little red wire.
All right, not gonna be able to get a clamp on that, I don't think. Yeah, maybe I can right here.
All right. Let me go ahead and start shoving her in there. And then that
there.
Stop looking at it. Figure that out. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit of
All right.
After further review, I am going to only run these two wires out back through the firewall. These can go with the rest of everything else because this orange one here is the fuel pump trigger wire, and then this is the ignition wire. I think what I'll do is what I did with my Holly Terminator X. I'll go ahead and put this in probably fuse 18.
Guys, if I had this dash out of the car, I would probably take the time to do this a little bit neater, but I think this is fine. It's going to be covered up with a dash pad. You'll never see it.
Get that wired up through here, so this wiring harness ain't the greatest as far as length and stuff goes. This is the problem. Here's the CAN bus thing. This goes into the display that you control this whole thing with. This has got to go inside there. I don't know why it's so far up this if it's got to go inside. So I don't understand that. But the other problem was, of course, remember my problem with the distributor, because they made it for a Chevrolet. Well, never throw anything away, folks, because this is an extender that you get when you buy an MSD box, and I got two of them that I never used, and it plugs right in. So now that I got this extended, this can go back that way, and this can come up here. Well, it's all ran, but there it is. Cool thing about this excess wire right here, we can shove it right back through that hole and do that. But yeah, shit, it's pretty cool that that worked out like that. Unfortunately, the coil is right here. I can't really go anywhere else with it. It may end up here. We'll have to get a wire long enough to get on the distributor. All right, well, this
All right, well, gentlemen,
kit,
that is good. So now at least the speakers may not rattle terribly.
useless. This one close to what we want. I also have it would reach. It would be tight against here. I want that. And then this piece here, which we can take a 90-degree string. We can just bring it off around here. Not too bad. And then of course the string will be going down this way. So I think that's what we'll do. I have to cut it, I guess. The way I looked online, the way they cut these is they basically put tape over this. There, we got tape on there. And you leave that on when you screw these in. So we got to put a piece of tape on here and basically put the tape on and you cut in the middle of the tape to leave a little bit of it on there. But there's a shoulder in there that these you screw them down on and push them, so you cut them with a whizzy wheel. That's the best way to cut them. And then take this piece right here and screw it into this and then extend this. Hey, you see that? There you go. That one's mounted. Hope this is good. That was really good. I don't know. That intake was awesome. So that's gonna be about there. And this. Alright. Let's see how bad I can screw this up. That's a clean-ish cut. This is my first attempt doing this, so it doesn't seem too hard. It's usually everybody says getting started on this thing here and trying to get it on that ledge in there.
All right, boys and girls.
I put some black tape and wrapped it around here. It works great in the cold, so
Now I just got to do that piece right there. As my back feels like it's about to explode. It's always good.
Alright. It is crooked right there. That's probably not a good thing.
Don't want to drop that down the vent.
We'll find out.
That'd be cool.
Oh, there we go. But you don't have to. I don't know. I'm just putting this on here. Trying to finalize anything. So I guess we could have cut that a little bit shorter. The first few lines done. This thing's mounted.
I can't get my fingers in there, boys. All right, I'll have to go in. We'll have to go in. Going in, boys, going in. I'm gonna have to rewatch Sean's video here because I got busy doing this and I kind of missed a lot of it. Now this one may benefit, gentlemen, from me taking a little bit of zip tie and melting in here. This has a little bit more structure to it, I think. Just because it's with a dash pad and stuff.
welcome back to Welding Garage. The last time you saw Blasphemy, it spilled its guts all over the ground. It was a mess. But it is fixed, and that all happened while I was filming.
Gentlemen, I think that's good.
While Joe had a nice cushy week of rebuilding a transmission and towing my car to PRI, I was freezing my nuts off in this thing with Freiberger while filming.
That is... Oh yeah, that's solid. Boys, lesson learned here is, if you got broken plastic, get you a soldering iron with a nice flat tip and just melt it back together. It's not rocket science. And it works. This right here went from being super floppy to being pretty good. So, see if I can't get that unplugged. Yeah, I just have to tap in like that. All right.
G-force, G56 transmission, and boom. Not much left on the side. And yes, input shaft.
All right, guys, I'll show you what I used. So this is my Weller soldering iron. I use this to solder. I know that's kind of funny, but so the tip that I use to do that, just that right there. And I guess technically when you do this, it is good to have filler material that you can fill back in, where this is not a structural piece as far as like life and death. It's just holding the speaker. I felt pretty confident that I can, if you could see like there's a crack is here, I went on this side of the crack and I melted plastic to it, and on this side and melted plastic into it, and then I took that little ridge that I created, and then I done it like I was TIG welding in a way, just or even MIG welding, just kind of, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of flatten that in and melting it in, you know, to, and so you could basically fix cracks in a dash like this without having to use filler. Now, if this was going to take a real heavy, like a 6x9 speaker that was going to be just bouncing around, or like a sub, I wouldn't have used the plastic dash. I'd have mounted the speaker somewhere else. But if you did want to fix that, then yeah, you could go to Harbor Freight, Amazon, buy the filler rod. Something that works really good that people sleep on, I think, is zip ties, black zip ties especially. And that stuff, you can meld it into the other plastics, and it's pretty rigid. I actually plastic welded my son's Chinese 4-wheeler gas tank, brand new gas tank from Amazon, and man, that dude poured. I mean, it was terrible. And I used my little Weller pistol gun soldering iron. I've had that thing for like 20 years. I used it, and it been sealing. It's still got gas in the tank now, and that was back in the summer. So yeah, it works, guys. Pretty easy to do too. So anyhow, I think there may be another crack or two in the dash, but this was the biggest part right here. And the other speaker, that speaker hole was pretty good. So I do know that it only has one screw per speaker. I don't know if that's factory, but it has 2 clips. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 screws in them, because these JBLs will probably have a little more bass than the factory speakers. So, you know, they will probably rattle a little bit. So anyhow, I'm going to get the mountain speakers. We're going to make this video its own. Plastic welding. We're going to make this video its own. This is my little boy. He's going to say hi. Mike's working fine. Over. Copy that, big dude. Yeah, he loves the walkies that I got for us. So if it's just me and him here and I'm in the garage, he's upstairs and he can walkie down to me. So anyhow, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this short video. I'm going to edit this thing down to get it under 8 or 10 minutes about plastic welding and fix these old Foxbody dashes. This will probably go into part 2, maybe part 2 of the Foxbody interior restoration series I'm doing. And I don't know how long this series is going to go. It may go a couple of months. But anyhow, it's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Hey, I love y'all. Subscribe, like, watch, wherever you want to do. That's all I have. Peace.